What am I doing here? What am I doing here? What am I doing here? What am I doing here?
Hello from Copenhagen, Denmark. Denmark is known for many things. It is the birthplace of Danish design, which is functional and sleek, and you probably recognize many iconic structures and pieces of furniture. Think Sydney Opera House, egg chair. It's the birthplace of legendary physicist Niels Bohr. People here ride lots of bikes and enjoy some of the best healthcare in the whole world. For me, the first thing that comes to mind is Hamlet, Shakespeare's Prince of Denmark. And of course, the famous line, "Something is rotten in the state of Denmark," which is actually said by Marcellus, not Hamlet, by the way. In any case, today I'm here to play a show in Copenhagen, but I'm also here to report that very little is rotten in the state of Denmark. In fact, very much is extremely delicious. And one of the things that is so delicious is smørrebrød. I'm definitely pronouncing that wrong, but Americans are pretty bad at Danish, so I apologize to all Danes listening. Smørrebrød is an open-faced sandwich on a piece of dense rye bread. It can be topped with all kinds of things: potatoes, pickled herring, eggs, smoked salmon, beef tartare. But no matter what, these open-faced sandwiches are so damn good. Holy crap. The first time I came to Copenhagen, I was so blown away at the taste and artistry and unique flavors that I had to come back for more. So today, join me as I head to Hallern Smørrebrød, one of the most famous shops in Copenhagen, to eat and to learn about the history of these Danish specialties from Lars Hilfling, one of the restaurant's founders. So yeah, I'm here with Lars, and you are the co-owner? What is your role here?
Well, we are three people who founded the company, and I'm one of the three guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. And when did you guys found the company?
That's almost 7 years ago now, in February.
Okay.
We opened at Torvehallerne, the Copenhagen marketplace.
So, the first time I went to Copenhagen, which was just only about a year and a half ago, we were opening up for a band called Imagine Dragons, and the guys in the band were like, "Okay, it's your first time in Copenhagen. You have to have smørrebrød." Am I saying that correctly?
Almost. Smørrebrød, but nobody expects you to pronounce it correctly. You know?
Yeah, it's one of those words that I feel like maybe no American can say properly. Is that true?
I think that most words in Danish, only Danes can say. It sounds like we get something stuck in our throats when we are speaking.
What is the history of this food? Where did it come from, and how did you get involved in giving it to the people?
It's a long story, because actually smørrebrød comes from the Vikings. It's the only kind of food that the Danes have invented. And the Vikings used to make rye bread, and they just put not raw meat, but meat on top of it, and onions. That's what we have heard. So we can date it like 800-900 years ago. And then it was like slowly developed, and in the 19th century, it suddenly become very modern.
So I'm curious, like, how did you start getting involved in making this? Like, how did your relationship with the sandwich develop?
Well, actually, I didn't like it, you know, because smørrebrød topped in the 60s. It was still modern, and you still could get it at family parties and so on. But then the Danes, they started traveling around, and spaghetti and pizza and all kind of other foods were imported to Denmark, and it became very old-fashioned to eat smørrebrød, and we almost forgot it for like 3-4 decades. Only old people got it, and the quality really went down. There was not a single good place to go out and have a nice piece of smørrebrød in Copenhagen. But then like 10-15 years ago, the Danish new cuisine started to be reinvented, and of course we had to get back to smørrebrød. And my company, Hallern Smørrebrød, together with another company called Omans, they are actually the two who kind of reinvented smørrebrød in Denmark. But the three of us who started the company, I mean, we are really different. I'm an architect working as an artist today, and the other guy, he's a journalist as well as a goldsmith. And the third one, he studied like business at the business school. So we have three very different backgrounds. However, we had a philosophy, because I'm an architect, and I don't know if you know, like kind of modernistic architects, they talked about less is more or form follows function. So we decided to make very simple smørrebrød. If you look at some of the more old-fashioned smørrebrød in Denmark, they are really overloaded with all kind of strangely cut pieces of vegetables, and most of the stuff people, they just remove it. So we said we only want to put stuff on our smørrebrød which tastes good, and the kind of form follows function helps making the piece of smørrebrød even better.
Pickled onions on a slice of rye, hard-boiled eggs with a dash of chives, smoked salmon with the lemon slice. That's smørrebrød, that's smørrebrød. Dill on top of a fish fillet, marinated shrimps with mayonnaise. All these Sammys open face. That's smørrebrød, that's smørrebrød.
For people listening, what if they come to Copenhagen, what is like the most classic quintessential smørrebrød they could have?
Oh my God, that's a difficult. It's so different what you want. Yeah. And I mean, there are pieces I never eat myself, and there are pieces everybody likes and loves, which I don't. But I think the one we sell the most is a piece of rye bread where you got a fish, one of the most popular Danish fish place, which is roasted in or fried in butter. That's our most popular one.
Okay.
Actually, it's one of my favorites as well. But we have a very simple thing called a potato piece of smørrebrød, and you know, it's just a boiled potato on rye bread. It sounds very boring, but there are different kind of onions on top of it, and all. Well, it's really amazing how well it tastes because it's so simple, and the ingredients are really, really simple. So I think that's a favorite as well, because you can make a lot out of just a few ingredients.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for talking today. I think it's so interesting that you guys all come from these different backgrounds. To me, it seems like almost a testament to the smørrebrød and the idea that it's part of the culture, and it's something you guys are reinventing in a certain way, or reimagining with your different like expertises, which is really cool.
It has been a really fun journey, and we still love to be working with it, yes, for sure.
We have the smørrebrød procured on plates, forks and knives ready. Here we go, guys. Let's dig in. Paul is eating, this is rye bread with like these elaborately sliced potatoes, multiple different types of onions, I believe chives, watercress.
Yeah, that's delicious.
It's a vegetarian delight. Okay, Will, we're moving to you.
I've got the classic pickled herring with some onions and capers and a hard-boiled egg.
And a lot of dill. Big old sprig of dill.
Oh yeah, that's the stuff.
I'm having hard-boiled eggs, my classic favorite, on rye bread with shrimp, lemon zest, some type of greenery, and mayonnaise.
As a listener, you gotta see these things in person. They are beautiful pieces of culinary work.
We're eating art. I feel like this is the Danish, like, even for the Danes, what is considered just practical is still beautiful. What is so cool to me about creativity, whether it comes to sandwiches or music or fiction writing, is how people take elements of their culture and their lineage and reimagine them in a modern context. To me, that's kind of how the human story carries on across centuries. Smørrebrød was originally created by the Vikings, and now here I am, a girl from the Chicago suburbs, eating the reinvention of that tradition in a totally different millennium. That's insane. So maybe this week, let's all take a minute to think about something from our family or our culture and how we might recreate it too. If you want to talk to me about stuff on the internet, you can use the hashtag K.Flay Show, or you can email me at thekflayshow@gmail.com. And of course, you can listen to my new album, Solutions, everywhere that you like to listen to music. So there's a new episode of What Am I Doing Here every week. Be sure to set a reminder for the K.Flay Show after 9 a.m. on Wednesday. I'm currently on tour in the UK and Europe, and I would love to see you. You can grab tickets at kflay.com/tour.